All right. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Long time no see. Welcome, everyone, to our very first live session of A Star Wars Journey with Ashley and Brandi. Obviously, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Brandi.
And we really missed you guys. Sorry that we've been gone for so long. To put it lightly, like real life really kicked our butts, didn't it, Brandi? Yeah, for both of
Absolutely.
us.
Completely KO'd. I mean, flat on my back. It has been unreal.
Mm-hmm. But in a good way, right?
Yeah, I mean, in a good way. It's all been like exciting stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's all been really, like productive and
Mm-hmm.
enriching and exciting. But I swear there's been like little time for like the fun stuff.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
We went like, how long did we go? It's been over a month. It has to
Yeah,
be. Yeah,
it
over a
has.
month. And I just feel like something was missing in my life, like I missed doing the watch with you and doing the
Yeah.
podcast with you. So,
This
um,
last week, doing the watch has been so amazing
yeah, I mean,
because it was like the first week back.
yeah, it really is. It really, we went on a hiatus. So I guess we probably would consider this like season 2 of the show, right?
Yeah.
At least that's how it feels because we were gone for a little bit. But yeah, same here. Just been hit with so many things. Just mom life and just work life in general. So it's been crazy,
Yeah.
but happy to be back. And just to give everybody an overview. So when we left off, we were like right in the middle of season 3 of Rebels.
Yeah.
So we have finished season 3 of Rebels. We got a little glimpse of season 4. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then this week we're going to see if we can try to get all of season 4 in. We'll see. We're very
Yeah.
ambitious. We're very ambitious girls.
We have plans.
Yes, we do. So I guess before we move forward with that, one other thing too. We both saw and this was actually what sparked me, Brandi, if you can remember, in wanting
Yeah,
to
you were so
start back
stoked
up.
about this.
I was so stoked. Like I'm sure you guys have all seen the behind the scenes featurette about the Mandalorian finale with bringing back Mark Hamill as Luke. I was just like completely blown away. Like I loved it. I cried.
Yeah.
So really want to talk about that. So maybe after we give our shout out to a certain pod of certain guys that we love,
Yes.
let's talk about that finale. But before we do that, let's shout them out, Brandi.
We definitely want to shout out Luna Girl and Sidebar Cantina because they are so supportive and so awesome.
Yes.
And we're just like really, really jazzed that they're just always there for us. So, and I also want to shout out Ro because Ro was
Yes.
amazing when with his acumen and his what can I say, advice. So he was just like really awesome. And because we told him like we want to do this streaming thing, we want to go on YouTube, and this is new for us. And so he was like so amazing, and he gave us like some really good advice. So Ro is our fearless leader, so we always shout out Ro and the Scariff podcast.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I love all of you guys, so thank you for helping us and supporting us. Okay, so oh my gosh, I didn't even write notes for this. I'm just going to be completely going off the top of my head. I've seen it twice. I wanted to watch it one more time before we talked about it. But yeah, what did you think about that behind the scenes featurette, Brandi?
Girl, it was so emotional. Like that's what really like. I love Favreau and Filoni, of course, but like it was so emotional to me because the most emotional thing was watching Favreau get emotional over R2.
Right?
And
I know.
and
It was so
when he
cute.
was like getting like misty eyed, and
Yeah.
he was misting up, and it was like so sweet, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my gosh. So
It
yeah.
it just shows you that what we thought all along, like these guys really love Star Wars. They care
Yes.
about it so much. They are one of us. They truly are one of us. Every fan. They care about the content. They want to do it right. And they're humble about it. They're not arrogant. You know, and I love the collaboration between not just Favreau and Filoni, but anyone involved in the whole thing. Like even the director, shame on me, the director of the finale, and just what he was able to bring to that as well. It was just fascinating to listen to them, you know, toy around with these ideas and stuff of what to do, and bringing Luke back, or bringing Mark Hamill back, to reprise Luke. So, yeah, it was so emotional. I mean, I did cry because, you know, it was also neat. You know that they did a good job when even like they were tearing up, like seeing what they were producing. Like when that whole scene of Luke coming back, like they said there were tears. It's like, that's how you know you've done a good job, right?
Oh my gosh. The most amazing part to me, and like what really caught me off guard emotionally, was watching Luke or Mark Hamill hold Grogu.
Right?
Like that was like when he was holding him like a baby, and he was like, you know, like holding him and looking down at him like lovingly, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling things I should not be feeling about fiction characters.
And you know, like they didn't have to do that. I mean, that puppet, that animatronic puppet is like $5 million. Like they didn't have to bring that to Mark Hamill's house to talk about this thing, but they just shows that, you know, the level of reverence that they have for Luke Skywalker is the same as us. And they went to Mark Hamill, you know, and approached him with this, and brought Grogu with. I mean, that level of respect that they gave to Mark Hamill, I was so touched by that.
Yeah, it was, you know, really, everything was really respectful. And, you know, this is something that I was not aware of when I watched the gallery special, was that Luke, or why do I keep calling him Luke? Okay.
Because he's Luke to us.
He's Luke. Mark Hamill, I was not aware that Mark Hamill actually like acted the whole scene.
I know.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. And I was really, I should say, like I was, but my husband more so, because he's like the tech geek. You know, he loves to learn about, you know, emerging technology and stuff, and that whole de-aging process and the deep fake that they were doing. It was fascinating just what they were able to do, and the lengths they went to try to just get it just right. I don't know. I was pretty happy with the final product. I know there were a lot of people that complained about it, but I thought they did an amazing job. Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't aware of that either. But again, it just shows that they just really wanted Mark Hamill to be a part of this, you know, because this was such a special moment, and, you know, it was only right that he was there for it, you know?
They sold it. I mean, they really sold it. And I love how they pulled out all the stops to make him want to do it. So that was just really cool.
It was. The whole thing was cool. It's just, you know, I guess, like I think I told you this in our conversation. Like, you know, I have a unhealthy like love for Filoni and Favreau, but this just made it even more unhealthy. I just love these guys. I love what they're doing. It's just nice to know that, you know, there's a franchise and stories and characters that I love and care about so much are in just the right hands, and they're being taken care of, you know?
Yeah. And I have no doubt in my mind that they are in the right hands. I mean,
yeah, they are. I mean, and, you know, again, just showing that they're really just trying to bring people together with all of this. And, you know, even things that people didn't agree with the sequels, like the stuff that we, you know, weren't happy with. They're really trying to, you know, at least connect the dots in a way that it will make it palatable, I think. And I think they're doing a good job with it.
Yeah.
So
I think the more they can bridge the gaps that were made in canon by the sequels, and by the sequels, I don't mean The Last Jedi, because I love The Last Jedi.
Right. I know, but we are shamelessly, we love
we do.
We do.
Really love it.
Sorry, guys, we do.
There's so many haters for that, and it's so sad because
is it because they wanted her to be a Skywalker? Is that what it is about, or
I think it's
a shipping element, or
a lot of it is, a lot of the hate for The Last Jedi is the fact that Luke was like a crotchety old bastard, and then
Okay. Well, Mark Hamill was upset about that too.
he was
at the
upset about
get-go.
that, yeah.
But
then he ended up dying, and then they really hated that.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
well,
but I
he
mean,
can't live forever.
He can't live forever, and the way he went out was like so beautiful.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought it was. So I don't know. I just again, I just think that Rian Johnson was trying to, try to make something original, like to not rehash old storylines and try to make it fresh. To me, it felt that way. But yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't carried through in the way that we had hoped. But yeah, just going back to, the finale, it was great to, just get more insight into the creative process and how they brought this all together. Every little attention to detail, even the music, how during that whole scene where we see Luke and those subtle little hints, there's an X-Wing, there's a green lightsaber, there's the gloved hand, like everything that they were I was picking up on, and it just built upon this climax, and it was just so amazing. But the part that I loved is that you didn't hear any music. That Favreau made a point of saying you don't hear any John Williams music at all throughout that whole thing until he reveals his face. I just thought that was genius. I don't know. And then when the goodbye scene, forget the director who directed the episode, but he referenced E.T. And as you know, girl, I think I told you this a couple nights ago, we watched that movie with my family. And I love that movie, but the ending always makes me cry. I've seen it a billion times. I always cry. Never fails. So that's what it reminded me of that when I first watched it. And that was interesting that he brought that up as an inspiration for that final goodbye. No, it was just great. And it has me pumped for season 3. And, we don't have any news to cover because, it's just been,
we've been out of it for so long.
Yeah, we've been away so long, and, there's been a lot out there, but, we'll catch up next week for news. But, at least we do know for a fact that it's looking like it's going to be really late 2022 before season 3 of The Mandalorian drops. So that sucks. That's like almost a year longer than what I originally anticipated.
Book of Boba Fett is wrapped.
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett, I think, is supposed to hit late December, right? Like December 28th or something. So that is something to look forward to. I'm excited about that. But yeah, so I thought that was good stuff. But so I guess we can talk about season 3 of Rebels. Both of us agree that, this show has just greatly improved since we first started watching it. It's been a real struggle. It was a real struggle in the beginning.
I'm going to tell you what, it became like a job.
Yeah, sorry to admit that, but it kind of was for a little bit.
I mean, it became like a job, and it was one of those things where, like, I don't know how to say it. The characterization was so slow to get started, and the personality development and the relationships and plot and everything was nothing was cohesive in the beginning. Right. And so, like, then it's kind of finally coming together, and it's really good. I mean, I know why people are like, Rebels. I mean, I get it now, but I mean, there were 2 seasons there where it was really rough. And 2 seasons is a long time to go trying to find your footing. I mean.
Yeah, I agree. But I think for us, the big turning point, I think besides the finale of season 2, that's when it really felt like, okay, now you guys have figured it out, So the season 2 finale of Rebels was so incredible.
Yeah, it really was.
But I think a big turning point besides that for us was the character growth of Kanan. Like, I still can't believe that when we started out with this show, like, we couldn't stand him, and now we love him.
That's true. Look, I won't be the first one to say it. I couldn't stand that man.
No, I couldn't either.
When he got the beard and he was blinded, that was it.
guess we dig blind bearded men. So
there was something happened to his character. Like he became like from like this angry, whiny, really
just doesn't want to be bothered with Ezra. Just
didn't want to be bothered with Ezra.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be bothered with being a Jedi. He had like this, and the thing was, he had like this unseen past that we didn't know anything about because the show wouldn't tell us.
Right.
And so, like, if we'd have known all of that stuff about him, then maybe we would have, been more sympathetic. But no, he gets a beard, and then he gets like more in tune to the Force, and then he's blinded, and it's crazy. It's crazy good. So I love him. Like, he wasn't in one of the episodes. He wasn't in one of the episodes this week, and I missed him.
Yeah. Right. There wasn't. Oh. Dear.
Uh-oh. You're frozen.
Sure what happened. Can you see?
I can see you, but you're kind of frozen.
Stable. Yeah, it says the connection's unstable. Maybe I might have to end this and restart it again.
I see you now.
Oh, okay. It's fairly good now. So sorry about that. Really crappy Wi-Fi, people. Okay, so we were talking about.
I know all about it.
Yeah, I know, right? This is truly a miracle right here. Like, I just want to say, I forgot to mention this at the very beginning of the show. You look fantastic, girl. I love your hair. I love it, and I'm so grateful that I can see you because it just is so pleasing to the eyes. Yeah, it's so beautiful. I love it. It makes me want to get my hair done.
Girl, you're so sweet.
I know.
I had to do something different. Like, yours looks great. It always looks great. But mine was like down here. And then like all I was doing because I was really hot was wearing it up in a ball. And so, I just, and I'm going into the schools and I'm doing all the stuff at the college. And I'm like, I need something that I can work with.
Exactly. No, it looks great, girl. I'm so happy for you.
You're so sweet.
Well, I'm just telling the truth. So, so we were talking about Kanan. That was a huge turning point for us. Yeah. His character growth. There was a line that he said towards the end of, I think it was the last episode that we had watched for this watch. And something along the lines of, I've learned to see more or see better. I forget. Yeah. Do you remember that? But
I do.
I thought truer words have never been spoken when it came to Kanan. So, yeah, I love Kanan now. I dig him. Kanan's hot.
Yeah, and Kanan and Hera, I totally ship them.
Oh gosh, yeah. Remember, like there was that little line, like come back home, quick, love, or something. I'm just like,
that fed my soul.
Yes, my shipper heart is starving for this content. I tell you.
Yeah, like because they're the only ship we have. That's it.
Pretty much, yeah. There's really nothing else. So one of the things that I really loved about this particular watch session that we had this last week was the focus on the Darksaber and Mandalore, like the civil war with Mandalore. I can totally see now what people are saying about how this ties into the Mandalorian and the implications and everything that comes about by this, especially those last 2 episodes that we watched, which were the first 2 of season 4, really just highlights that what the history of these people and, this war that they're having with each other. I mean, it's so sad. But it was really cool. I was really kind of struck by Sabine's character growth too on the show. With her and the Darksaber and Ezra having to train her how to fight with a lightsaber,
Yeah, that was cute.
That was really cool. Yeah. I thought that was neat. It was cool to see the parallels between Kanan training Sabine, and the way that he trained Ezra. Definite difference, if you ask me.
Yeah,
but yeah, so
point.
one of
I didn't think about that at the time. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's just so different. He was really challenging her, and that last duel that they had where she like kicked his butt. It was really, I thought it was riveting. I just like, whoa. It's just, I really miss those really good lightsaber battles on these shows. That's what I look forward to the most.
You know what, like I missed, and I know this show is like more geared toward children, and I get that, but like I miss like a good old fashioned lightsaber kill. Like I want to see a lightsaber slice through a body. And so, like, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that never happens on
the way Clone Wars did it, right? Wasn't there some Clone Wars deaths like that?
Clone Wars went hard. And so
they did.
I want to see, like, if you'll notice with Sabine and the Darksaber, and then with Kanan and Ezra, they always, like, instead of, like, sorry.
That's all right. I just realized I didn't silence my phone either.
I didn't.
So thank you.
No.
It's all good.
This is real life, folks. It's real life.
This is live. Yes. This is our first time, so we're learning.
We're working
right?
out the kinks.
Yeah.
But
yes.
But anyway, no. What I was saying was, like, if you notice, Kanan and Ezra, and they always like use their lightsaber to like disarm or disable. They don't ever like put it through somebody's body. And
that's true.
And I guess like I miss that about Clone Wars, because like Clone Wars, they were killing some troopers, and they were,
No,
that's
true.
Badass. And
and
I just miss that. Like I miss that. I don't know. I guess that's the adult in me that misses that. I don't know.
I do too. I'm more drawn to the darker stuff. I mean, I just am. That's why, like, anytime, for instance, Maul came on this show, I'm like, okay, yay. Like, I crave that dark stuff. Like, I don't want to go to the dark side, but it still makes the show more interesting because they have to learn to navigate through that and defeat that. So, yeah, I agree. I definitely think they've held back when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, we can peek into the abyss without falling in.
Right, exactly. Right? It's not like we have the Sith holocron like Ezra did, and we're gonna like get sucked in. It's no, it's safe. So yeah, that was my favorite thing about this season, was just really exploring Sabine's character growth, exploring more of the history of Mandalore, the history of the Darksaber. I really enjoyed that. And also finally seeing Callus's, arc come to full circle. Like at the very end, I was so like, yay.
Like I really didn't like him. And
no, I didn't either.
Then I did like him. So it was really, he's solid. I like him.
Yep. No, one thing about Callus is I didn't even like him until that one episode that we watched. I don't know if this was season 2 or if it was early season 3, because, we had such that big gap. But the one where he was with Zeb, they were trapped and they had to like rely on each other to survive. I made a note, I think, was it the very last episode we watched? Or maybe it was the season finale. I can't remember, but it was the one where he finally decides to bail. Like he's going to ditch the Empire, and he gets into the escape pod, and then they finally pick him up and bring him aboard, and he says to Kanan, thank you, for me in. And the way that Kanan responded and seeing the look on his face, it just reminded me of that episode with Zeb,
Yeah, that's
when
a good point.
He saw... Yeah, because he saw the difference when how Zeb was received when they picked him up, and how he was received when the Empire picked him up. Like not a big deal. Like you're replaceable, basically. So so that made me feel really happy, and has something interesting to look forward to with season 4, like what his role is going to be with the rebellion now.
I'm already digging season 4. Just 2 episodes in. I mean,
same.
Yeah.
Because I get it.
And then I don't know, the last couple of eps we watched, what I thought I was going to lose it when I saw Obi-Wan. That was like that was a
Right?
highlight
Oh
for
my
me.
gosh, girl, we have to talk about this. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That
We have to talk
was
about this.
the voice, the
The voice.
characterization, mannerisms, the animation. And this is like a show that we had critiqued for bad animation. And
Yes,
then like
precisely.
they come out with like this, just like, yes.
Yes. Yeah, the animation and the voice, though, girl, that really got me. Like, I had
I
tears in my
know.
eyes. It sounded just like Alec Guinness, just like him.
I know.
So,
I know. And like
oh,
that's the Obi-Wan I fell in love
nailed
with.
it.
Like that's my Obi-Wan.
Precisely. That's mine too. I mean,
I
I'm
know.
younger than you, but I grew up with the original trilogy. So
Yeah.
that was my first Obi-Wan.
And then he
So,
comes in on a dewback. Like that is how cool is
right?
that?
Yes.
Oh
That
my
was so
gosh.
awesome. Yeah. That
So
was
I don't
something
know.
though,
Just the whole
how,
thing.
right? So yeah, that's something. So is Maul finally dead now? Like, is this over now with Maul?
Well,
Because it seems like that guy won't die.
right, right. I mean,
You know,
it seems like he won't die. So it's kind of like I don't know, like if he is dead or I don't know
that
that
whole
we might
scene
see him
seemed to
again.
treat it like it was.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and how appropriate, like
maybe.
how awesome is it like he would die in Obi-Wan's arms?
I know, like I can't get over that. Like it just shows you that, Obi-Wan truly is on the light side of the Force. He's good and, just
Obi-Wan
compassionate.
is
He's
the ultimate
merciful.
Jedi. The
He
ultimate
really
Jedi. That's it.
is. He really is. He's my
He's
favorite,
everything.
I have to
So,
say.
I mean, okay. Bendu, we love Bendu, you know.
Mhm.
And so like
Mhm.
Bendu's like I'm the force, I'm the dark, I'm the light, I'm everything. To me it seems like Obi-Wan wouldn't piss Bendu off. Because like like Obi-Wan is like the ultimate embodiment of the light.
Mhm.
And with like because Obi-Wan never really liked fighting, it was just a necessary part of his job.
Exactly.
So like you remember like in the last couple of eps where Bendu was like pissed off because Kanan was bringing war to the land and all this stuff, and then Bendu like went
Mhm.
total full on crazy. That
Yeah, that
I
was
audibly
insane.
gasped when
Yeah.
and so like Hera's like, that's your friend, and he's like, yeah, kind
I'm
of.
angry.
It made him angry a little bit, yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, it was just really cool. It's cool. Like the more we see of these creatures, like these stewards of the force, like Bendu, um,
Mhm.
who are like larger than life and really just like an embodiment of everything that we love about the force. It's kind of like it makes me more excited about Jedi's and the force and all that cool stuff. I mean, I'm not articulating it properly, but
You're
I
better
just
than
want to
I
say that
am.
Bendu is just a badass, and he makes me more excited for Star Wars.
I agree 100%. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, that scene where he was in the sky and everything, like that was
Yeah,
just whoa, that blew my mind.
that was
And it was interesting.
crazy.
It was, and it was also. What did you think about that scene with him and Thrawn at the end when he says that I see your defeat, like 1,000 cold arms, like wrapped
Embracing
around you,
you. Yeah.
embracing you? I was just like, whoa! Like if you really wanted to get back at your enemy, that's the way to do it. And then
Right. And
when
then he
he goes
shoots
to
him and then
shoot
he disappears.
and he disappears, and then
Crazy.
you hear us laughing in the distance. That was just like, that was pretty awesome.
I know because I'm sitting there because I'm always the person that's like, oh no, they killed him. And then it shows in the next scene it's like, oh no, you can't kill Bendu. He's the force. So
Right? Exactly. Yeah. So no, that
it,
that was so cool.
yeah, it was
Um,
great. It was amazing.
So I'm just curious, like what, so we, talked about this in earlier episodes about like how you feel Thrawn is being portrayed based on what you've read from the books. Like, has he still been sort of meeting your expectations, like through this
Absolutely.
second half of season 3? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I read these books. I read the Thrawn trilogy and the Thrawn duology so long ago, but like the
Okay.
character of Thrawn is one that's like ingrained in my memory. So,
Okay.
I think that the Rebels is doing like an excellent job portraying him because Thrawn is like really cold, really calculating. He's always like a few
Mm,
steps ahead of everybody, and they just did a beautiful job, I think, with his character. And it's just so awesome to see like an expanded universe or Legends character be canon. Like because if he can be canon, so
right.
can anybody. Mara Jade. I mean, hello.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm
Yep.
really
Thank you,
excited
next
for the
girl.
future.
So I'm so happy and excited for you. I really think she's going to be next.
I know.
So
Yes.
we're
Do it.
gonna have to throw a party when that becomes canon. That's
Oh
gonna be
my
great.
gosh. If we see a Luke and Mars, that's gonna be my ship. I'm gonna
Ooh.
ship that so hard.
Oh, mine too. Hands
Yeah, it's
down.
gonna be
Absolutely.
incredible.
I'm starving for ships right now in the Star Wars universe because
Because
Anakin
Mara
and
was
Padme, that was
like
doomed.
yeah, Mara was like a dark side operative. And so she knew
See, I didn't
Thrawn.
know
So
that.
like yeah, yeah. So like it would be just easy for them to float in Mara,
Mm-hmm.
to 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 canon verse. I don't know. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just stoked for the future.
Same here. Same here. As long as, Filoni and Favreau are at the helm, boy, we're
Oh
gonna
my
be well
gosh.
fed.
Favreau said something so profound during that gallery expose. He said something like um that they were taking what had come before and what was to come and using it to build on it. And so
Yes.
that's like a really beautiful way to look at what they're doing because the
Yep.
sequels have already happened. That
Yep.
you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, but what you
Yeah.
can do is like bridge some of those inconsistencies and
Mm-hmm.
make them make sense. And one of the things that I'm seeing that they did already with that is with the cloning and the Mandalorian.
Yes. Not just the Mandalorian, but also even at the end of Bad Batch, because they
Bad Batch,
took
yeah, Bad Batch too, yeah.
yeah. Yep. So, they're continuing on with that. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And we have to remember that, Filoni already was doing this with Clone Wars because Clone Wars came after the prequels and the prequels people struggled with. And so he
Right.
did, I thought, a great job of writing backwards and connecting those dots that lead up to it. And so
Oh yeah.
he's shown that he's capable, he's up to the task to do that. And they're clearly doing that already now with, not just The Mandalorian, but also with Ahsoka and, the Obi-Wan series coming up. I mean, yeah, so they're really good at, using the existing material and writing towards that, and they're
Hmm.
very conscious of, how this will implicate future events. And, they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
clearly. Like every single thing that they talked about in that commentary, like we have talked about, we have said this,
Yeah.
um one thing that really hit me actually that was really touching is and Farbro said this himself. He says so many people that grew up watching Star Wars like us, they're all older and they have kids and they want to
Yeah.
have their kids sit in the living room and experience Star Wars and introduce them to new content that their kids are going to grow up with,
That was super
and I
special.
just that was just so dang beautiful because that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm doing in my own life right now. Like my son is at that age now where he really wants to get into Star Wars and it's exciting,
Right.
to be able to
Yeah, it is
experience this with
exciting.
him. It
Yeah,
is.
and like he said, there's something beautiful about a family experiencing something together because we're also the noise.
Oh, so guys, I hope this never happens. I don't wish this on my worst enemy, but there's a
Go ahead and
slight
tell
chance.
them.
There's a slight chance that the school Brandy's at might be haunted. So be sure to wait for the look. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You completely interrupted me, Ghost. Unless you have something to say, stay over there.
I'm gonna have to get you some holy water or something. Just sprinkle that
girl.
around the room.
For
Oh my
real.
gosh.
I know. I'm telling you. But no, what I was saying was there's something beautiful about a family coming together and experiencing something for the first time collectively, because everybody's always on their phone or in their own world or in another headspace, and as long as you can share something like that, it's really beautiful.
I agree. Yeah, so that really affected me. But so I guess we can maybe close out this discussion. Just the first 2 episodes of season 4 I thought were pretty awesome. Again, focusing in on what's going on with Mandalore, and I really understand now why Din wanted no part of any of this stuff, because it just sounds like a big cluster to me. You've got this clan that's against this clan, and then you got this clan that turned against their own people and are working for the Empire, and who's loyal to who. I mean, what a big mess.
It's a mess. And I don't know if you noticed it or not, but remember Clone Wars Mandalore, where it was all technological and futuristic? And that really was crazy.
That threw me off.
It's just a wasteland.
Yes.
It's a complete wasteland.
And that's what how we were introduced to it in The Mandalorian. And so now it's really starting to feel true to what we've imagined it.
Yeah. And so imagine being Din. You just lost your son. You just broke your free. I know.
You lost your ship.
You lost your ship. You lost everything you have. You literally got the armor on your back.
Yeah. And the dark saber that you didn't even want in the first place, and the heir to the throne of a planet you want nothing to do with.
Yeah, you just inherited a wasteland of a planet. So it's I mean, the man is so depressed right now. I know he is so depressed.
Right. Oh, he's got it. I just want to give him a big hug. Oh, gosh.
I need that angst. I need that. I'm ready for that.
I am too.
What about Bo-Katan? We haven't talked about Bo-Katan.
I was just saying, you read my mind. I was so excited that we finally got to see Bo-Katan. Yeah, no, we are always on the same wavelength. We finally got to see Bo-Katan, and I was taken aback at first when Sabine approached her and offered her the dark saber. She thought, I am not worthy of that. I am not a leader. I had my chance and I blew it, basically. And I'm thinking, this is not the Bo-Katan I know.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, so that really threw me. But then I think was it by the end of this episode, or was it the end of the second part? I think it was the end of the second part when she finally does accept it. But then that kind of threw me off, because what about the whole story of who gets the saber,
That is exactly what I was going to say. What about the whole, you have to win it in battle? They're going around, they're giving this thing away like trick-or-treat candy.
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't either. So I'm just, I'm wondering, did they just kind of add that in for more dramatic effect because they need some sort of conflict to move into the next season of The Mandalorian? Because I can tell you, I am feeling very uneasy at the idea of Din and Bo-Katan being at odds, over this stupid saber. It's not stupid, but to Din it is,
Right.
All he wants is his green sun, people. That's all he wants. He doesn't want to be ruler of Mandalore.
He wants his
and
baby.
He would give it over to her if he could, So, but I think I just wonder if that was written in there just to create tension and conflict. I don't know. But
Yeah.
Nevertheless, so here we end episode 2 of season 4 with Bo-Katan now possesses the Darksaber. So
Yeah.
I guess it's really just a matter of time before she, is confronted
Loses it again.
loses it. Yeah. So we're probably not going to see that, I'm guessing. So that's just something that was going to happen in the future.
It was cool
post.
seeing all the different clans of Mandalorians.
Yeah.
That
I
was
thought so
cool.
too. I really liked that. It was exciting for me. It was exciting
I
just to
mean,
see them all come together at the end. Like,
and you know what
finally.
was really cool to me too? Like it was really cool seeing them in battle, and like they're so like it's almost like a aerial ballet with those jetpacks. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just really so agile and so versatile with them, and it's just really crazy. And then they gave Ezra one, which is
Right.
hilarious.
Yeah. Like he's not
Because,
a
like, I don't know
Mandalorian.
why Ezra needs one. He just jumps around like a superhero anyway.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's a
So I don't
Jedi. He
know.
doesn't need one. He can just jump like, how many stories high. This brings me back to Clone Wars.
I know, man. They
Oh,
could jump
God.
2 and 3 stories. Well, remember
Yeah.
that's not just Clone Wars. That's in Attack of the Clones. Remember when Obi-Wan and Anakin were like falling through the air onto different speeders
Oh,
in the middle
yeah.
of Coruscant?
Yeah, that's true. That's
I
a
mean,
good
that was
point.
like,
Yeah, they really pushed it with that film.
yeah. And another thing, I mean, and I know this shouldn't bother me, and I know that like we've talked about how Star Wars kind of ignores gravity sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
like when Sabine and Ezra like jump onto the other aircraft or spacecraft and
Mm-hmm.
they're running alongside, there's like they're not floating away. They're not.
Yeah,
Did it have maybe like something like an anti-grav suit on, maybe, or
it's like that one episode with the whales in space, the space whales, and how you
oh,
could
that
hear
was
them. It's like you
terrible.
can't hear them in a vacuum. And then you see Ezra, he's got this space suit, but it's not covering his entire body. Like you can see exposed skin. And I'm just thinking, so how is he not freezing right now? Like, or
Right,
I don't know. It's just like one of those things, I guess, where you have to, suspend disbelief in order
right.
to appreciate it. But no, I hear you with that. I kind of missed it a little bit, because I think I told you before we started recording that I was trying to watch this episode and I've got 2 little kids jumping on the bed like it's a trampoline or something. And, it just doesn't work anymore. Just saying, stop jumping.
Girl,
So,
I actually was able to fit them in. I can't believe it, but I fit them in, and they went really fast. Like they were really entertaining. So
yeah, no, I thought these last 3 we watched, pretty much all of them, there weren't too many during this watch session that I really didn't care for. I mean, even I can't believe I'm saying this, and I don't even know why. I remember I made comments to you, and you're all quiet. You probably hate him, but I don't know why, but I like AP5. I think it's the voice, maybe.
it's okay. I
It's
like
the
him.
voice, and he's full of himself. Like, I just find it funny. I find him
He reminds
entertaining.
me of C-3PO.
Yeah, a little bit. I think so too. Just a little more stuck on himself. Like he's
Yeah.
perfect, and but yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to see what season 4 has in store. I'm excited because by the way, we didn't talk about Mon Mothma showing up and how
Oh
awesome it was to see
yeah.
her. That
It's
was so
awesome.
cool.
She's so cool. It's always great to see her.
It is.
I love
And
her so
see,
much.
I do too. And just showing that how brave she is to stand up to Palpatine, and how
Yeah.
dangerous that was for her to do that. It's like you don't see courage like that demonstrated at all these days. And so I have mad respect for someone who does that, even
Yeah.
if they're fictional.
And she's looking very A New Hope.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, she's, you know.
Thank you for saying that, because as I was watching throughout the week with you, it just really, I'm really starting to feel like we're approaching A New Hope. And I know we have to watch
Right.
Rogue One first before we get to A New Hope, but it's like, I really can't wait to get to A New Hope, because that's where it all begins. Like, doesn't really begin, but for us it did, because when we grew up with these films.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just really, excited. Like, things are falling into place,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. I'm excited about where it's going to take us, like in the future,
yeah,
and other conversations, and just I don't know. This whole thing has kind of reinforced my love for Star Wars. Really, even through like seasons 1 and 2 of Rebels, it was all like
mm-hmm.
it was all good because we were watching like a piece of canon, and it was just it was leading us down a path that we were kind of, yet unsure of. So it's always fun to discover new things.
I agree completely. So yeah, it's been such an awesome journey, and I'm just as excited as you are to see where this will lead us. Even not just Star Wars, but just talking about really anything.
Absolutely,
'Cause
yeah.
there's just so much content out there.
Yep. And we
But
still got to get back to the Loki after show.
oh gosh, that's right, Loki. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna have
I
to
won't
somehow
let you
try to
forget
squeeze
it.
that. Have you still not watched any episodes? Are you holding
No,
out
I saved
on
them.
me?
I'm waiting for you.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, all right. Yes, we will definitely be scheduling some Loki time. Can we wait until we get into like the films, because I think that'll allow a little bit more
We
flexibility
can wait
with
as long as
watching.
you like.
Okay. Just to free up a little more time, but yeah, so we're gonna be talking about Loki and pretty much just anything that we like, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Do you have anything else to
No,
add, or
I'm good. Just Obi-Wan was awesome. I
Obi-Wan,
still love
Mon
Bendu,
Mothma?
even though we got pissed off at Kanan.
I still like
Um,
him.
yeah, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Thrawn was kicking it, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Ezra with the
Kanan's hot.
jetpack made no sense, but I accepted it, and it was. And I still like, although I love Bo-Katan, I still wanted Sabine to wield that dark saber. I thought she was cool. I thought she could
I,
do it.
she came so far. Like, even Bo-Katan herself said that. Just
Yeah,
watching her, like, she just came so far, and I think she was just as worthy to
yeah,
wield that as Bo-Katan. So,
I agree.
but yeah, so
Can't wait
I'm
to see
hoping
what
we see
next
a
week
live
brings.
action Sabine. Oh, sorry, I talked over you.
No, you're okay. I was just gonna say I can't wait till next week what it brings.
Same. Yeah, we'll probably, hopefully, have watched the rest of season 4, so we'll see.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's what we plan on doing for next episode, is just completely covering season 4 of Rebels. And yeah, it's going to be epic. Again, want to just thank all of you out there for all of your love and support, most especially to our Red 5 family. Honestly, cannot do any of this without you guys. So peace and love to all of you guys. And as always, may the force
may
be
the
with
force be with
you.
you.
Bye, guys. Okay.